On a cold, stormy evening in a small, forgotten town, the roads were slick with rain, and most people had taken shelter indoors. But under the flickering yellow light of an old gas station, a weary mechanic named Jack was finishing up his last repair for the day. His hands were stained with oil, his shoulders slumped from years of hard work and little rest. He never expected that night would change his life forever. As Jack was locking up, he noticed a car pulled over just across the street. The hood was up, steam rising, and beside it stood a woman, drenched, shivering, clearly distraught. Her heels sank into the muddy roadside, and her soaked designer coat clung tightly to her body. Despite how out of place she looked in their quiet town, not a single car stopped to help her. Jack, exhausted and still aching from the day's work, didn't hesitate. He grabbed his jacket and walked straight into the rain. The woman introduced herself as Claire. Her voice trembled, not from the rain, but from frustration. Her car wouldn't start, her phone had died, and she didn't know anyone in town. Jack reassured her with a calm smile and got to work. Within 15 minutes, he had her engine running. She tried to offer him money, but Jack politely refused. "Just glad you're safe," he said. She looked at him for a moment longer than expected, eyes filled with gratitude and something more, maybe disbelief that kindness still existed. 2 days later, as Jack was having breakfast with his 8-year-old son, Lucas, the quiet of the morning was shattered by a thunderous sound. A helicopter. Not a news chopper or some local medical flight, this was sleek, black, and clearly expensive. It landed right in front of his small house, shaking the windows and raising dust from his unpaved yard. Jack rushed outside, shielding Lucas behind him. The door of the helicopter opened, and out stepped Claire, no longer soaked, no longer frazzled, but poised and confident. Jack was stunned. Claire explained everything. She wasn't just passing through town. She was the CEO of a global tech company. She'd been on a discreet road trip to clear her head from the pressures of her world when her car broke down. No one had helped her except Jack. "I needed to know if kindness still existed without the name, the title, the wealth," she said. "And you showed me it does." What followed was a whirlwind Jack couldn't have dreamed of. Claire offered him a job, one that matched his skills, yes, but also challenged him to grow. At first, Jack refused. He didn't want to leave town, didn't want to risk the simple life he'd built for Lucas. But Claire wasn't just offering a job. She was offering security, a future, education for Lucas, and the chance to do more with his talent than patching up old trucks in a fading town. The transition wasn't easy. Jack moved to the city with Lucas. He struggled to adjust, he didn't know corporate systems, didn't trust the suits and boardrooms. There were nights he wanted to pack up and go home. But Claire never gave up on him. She assigned him a mentor, gave him time, and most of all, believed in him. Lucas, too, found challenges. A new school meant bullies, new rules, and being the poor kid among the wealthy. But slowly, with Jack's love and Claire's support, Lucas began to shine. His drawings impressed teachers. His confidence grew. Jack watched his son smile more and realized he had made the right choice. Months turned into a year. Jack rose through the ranks. He began managing Claire's fleet of corporate vehicles, then the logistics department, and eventually, he was overseeing projects across multiple states. His hands still knew the feel of a wrench, but now they also understood contracts, budgets, and leadership. One day, as Jack stood in his new office, overlooking the skyline, Claire walked in. "You saved me that night," she said. "But you've saved a lot more people since." Jack smiled humbly. "You gave me a chance." She shook her head. "You earned it." The story ends not with fame or fortune, but with something deeper, respect, purpose, and family. Jack returned often to the old gas station, sometimes just to sit, remember, and remind himself of where he came from. And Lucas? He grew up inspired by his father's journey, eventually founding his own community program to help underprivileged kids learn mechanical and engineering skills. That rainy night was never just about fixing a car. It was about a choice, a simple act of kindness that turned into a miracle. The story of Jack and Claire reminds us that every small act, every good deed done with no expectation, has the power to echo across lifetimes.